over one third of them, 21,000, are living in the Dublin area. So in some cases, it could be a case that somebody got a learner permit with the objective of getting a car, but they probably didn't get the car because the public transport within Dublin city, right? But they're still holding on to the learner permit as an insurance. If they ever need to get a driver's license, at least they have the permit. So they just renew it, and then they go get an appointment and renew, and off they go again for the 2 years. So effectively, there's a mix in this, and I would be hoping that this regulation will flush all that out. And I would encourage people who don't need a learner permit to just don't be reapplying for tests to reapply, because that day is gone. But secondly, it's creating inefficiencies. And if you take people who are trying to get a driving test and their appointment is delayed, by having no shows coming into the system, it's actually creating a problem in itself. And imagine we could test an extra 8,000 people last year. The testers were there, but the people didn't show up. But there are other people who really need their license for work, for going to college, or and I often think about apprentices who are going to working on building sites. They have tools. They're going to different places. They need to have a car, and they're probably looking to get their test done. And there's a huge waiting time, or has been. So what has happened? That waiting time now has been reduced. We have additional resources in the RSA, and this is an anomaly that needs to be tackled for two reasons. Number one, make the drive testing more efficient, and secondly, make sure that people who are driving on the road are qualified to drive on the road. And it's not a question of trying to catch people out. It's a question of encouraging people to take the test and get their full licence, as opposed to clogging up the system like this.
Okay, thank you very much for your time this morning. I do appreciate it. That is Minister of State with responsibility for road safety, Sean Canny. 086 60 25,000 is the WhatsApp and text number if you wish to have your say in relation to that. So those new regulations come into effect from the 1st of November 2026. So that should give you, hopefully, an opportunity to be compliant. Right, okay. Nigel Sweetnam is chair of the Irish Farmers Association's National Poultry Committee, and he joins us now. Good morning, Nigel. Thank you very much for your time.
Good morning.
How concerning is it amongst your poultry farming members, the two most recent cases of bird flu amongst flocks of turkey?
Well, as you know, bird flu has been with us for the last 5 years, but this year is way and over and above anything that we've ever seen before. The level of anxiety out there is frightening.
What's the consequences for farmers that find, bird flu in their flock? Do they have to be destroyed? Can they be culled at that point? And is that what leads to smaller turkeys? So what does it mean for those farmers affected?
It means on a food safety basis, if you find the bird flu on your farm, as a safety precaution, all the birds are culled and disposed of, that they don't enter the food chain. So it's actually a wipeout situation. The other side, if you just sit back and do nothing, they'll all die in the house because it's such a virulent disease in poultry. But it's also in wildlife. It's also highly dangerous in wildlife. And I was speaking recently with Birdwatch Ireland, and they tell me that certain colonies of seabirds are becoming endangered because of bird flu, the amount of birds that are dying in the wild. Because don't forget, this is a disease of wild birds. And what's happening here is that the commercial birds are coming in contact with wild birds and transmitting the disease. The first house of turkeys that contracted the disease were out grazing in the fields 2 weeks ago, as free-range birds do, and cross-contamination in the fields, be it through the feces or direct contact with wild birds, and that's how they contracted it. So it's a frightening time for poultry farmers, because your whole livelihood is at risk. And this is people's livelihoods, and especially in the turkey trade, where they get one hit in the year, and this is their harvest, and these men are under ferocious pressure. The other side that's happening at the moment, I'm getting lots of phone calls from my members, are people feeling the isolation. and the pressure, you're asking people not to visit you, and you're at home dealing with all this stress. So it's a very, very worrying time.
Yeah, so we can't obviously control wild birds. Can you give us the thinking behind calls for a housing order?
90% of infection occurs by direct contact with wild birds. So if you can avoid that, you've increased your chances tenfold of avoiding the disease. And that's the logic behind it, that if you keep birds indoors, they're not in contact with wild birds, and you've substantially reduced the risk. And that's why we call for it. The other side of things, over the last number of years, bird flu has been such an issue that the poultry industry now is very, very well prepared for locking their birds indoors. And we have enhanced our housing. We have enrichment now in the housing for our birds. We have extended facilities. Some people have put porches and verandas onto their houses where they're still classed as being outdoors, but they're covered and protected from wild birds. So we have the facilities, and we were calling on the minister, and we were glad that he announced it, but probably not in time. And the other thing I would say about the housing order, that it has served us very well. If we look at our track record over the last 3 years, 2 years out of 3, we escaped untouched with bird flu by implementing these safety measures.
Just in terms of what is the norm, I presume the turkeys at the moment are for this year, right? So when normally would they be, slaughtered for human consumption? And do you think if they're of an appropriate side, farmers maybe now are edging their bets, and even if they're underweight to their expectations, going ahead with that process now, or does that not work for the farmers?
Well, I think that the traditional Christmas market is for a farm fresh, oven-ready turkey, and traditionally that would be killed 4 or 5 days before the presentation. Yeah. The other side is the capacity to slaughter them. Years ago, when I was growing up, we were able to kill and hang turkeys on my home farm. That's part of how I got into the poultry business. That day is long now gone with regulations, and everything must go through licensed plants. It's rigorous inspections, and all that is good for food safety, but it comes at a cost, and that we're relying on 3 or 4 plants to kill turkeys for Christmas, and there's probably a big issue in that as well, with capacity and the danger of transporting and mixing flocks in the processing plants. But I suppose the other thing we need to think about here is farmers. This is their livelihood, and the huge pressure that this is putting on the farmers, and food security, I suppose, is a bigger issue here. That it's not just turkeys; it could be table eggs tomorrow, or the real, very, very important one are hatching eggs. If a farm producing hatching eggs was to contact bird flu, that's when we'd see serious problems.
All right, so just to reiterate, what are you looking for from the Agriculture Minister now, and how urgent is your call?
We're looking for a disease fund to be put in place, and we have done preparatory work with them, and the Minister for Finance did make a provision in the budget for it to the Department of Agriculture, and we're looking for that to be acted upon and put in place. That because it's not just bird flu, there's a host of diseases out there that can wreak havoc on poultry farmers, and we're looking for a fund to be put in place where the department would put a pot in place, and we as farmers would co-finance the running of the scheme between industry, government and farmers. That has to happen as a matter of urgency, because it's bird flu today, it could be salmonella tomorrow, it could be Merrick's disease down the road, and farmers' livelihoods are put at risk here. But also food security is becoming a huge issue. Everybody talks about it, it trips off the tongue, but we need action now, because 50% of the meat eaten in the country is poultry. So the risk here is phenomenal, and it is the cheapest, best value meat on the market by a long shot. So we spoke about food inflation earlier this year, and if you took poultry meat out of the equation, the price of meat would double or triple. So we need to be supported. We're a very highly efficient sector. We don't get any state funding as it is. We were hit recently in the Finance Act, and that didn't help us in the small print. We need the Minister to listen to us and to come up with the goods and put the fund in place.
All right, listen, thank you for your time this morning. Yep, no, I get you. Thank you. That's Nigel Sweetnam, who's chair of the Irish Farmers Association's National Poultry Committee. Right, moving on here now. Could you please give a shout out to Marion, Stephen and Melissa from Melissa? Is it Melissa? It's Melissa from CI Hub, Letterkenny, with their fundraising coffee morning tomorrow at the Jim Lynch building in Letterkenny. Charities, the Donegal Mountain Rescue and the Donegal Hospice. Good luck, guys. Come out and support. In terms of the high rate of learner drivers or people holding learner permits for long periods of time, I call to say simply the issue here is a lack of Garda enforcement. Hi, Greg. We live in rural Donegal. My son is an apprentice. He needs to be left from the house at 6 in the morning. I have other children and a job. How is this doable? It's tough, you know, and I know exactly, I think, what you're referring to there. A caller says many no-shows book tests simply to renew their permit, tying up slots that genuine learners who want to complete the process desperately need. Closing the loophole is right and should free up test appointments over time. Listen, if there's no excuse for it, right? Unfortunately, learner drivers are overrepresented in fatal collision figures. But there has to be enough testers there has to be enough slots and all that type of stuff, and if the government are improving that, then we're getting to sort of like a there's no excuse situation. All right, so it's the 9 till noon show here on Highland Radio. We'll be back with more on the programme after we take a quick break.
Carrickdone 20% off almost everything, plus 50% off mega deals all this weekend. 20% off stunning party wear, gifting and Christmas collections. Don't miss 20% off in stores nationwide or online at carrickdone.com.
It's the Right Price Tiles wood flooring and bathware 70% off sale. Get up to 70% off all your purchases. Up to 70% off all tiles, all wood flooring, all bathware. Everything's reduced in store. The 70% off sale at Right Price Tiles, wood flooring and bathware. Stores nationwide. Sale now on.
For all you hard workers and multitaskers, those who come to work with big ambitions and bigger ideas, and all you legends of the trade, however you get the job done, there's a Volkswagen commercial vehicle for your business. Choose the new Transporter, Caddy Cargo, Crafter, Amarok, or the all-electric ID Buzz Cargo. Enjoy HB finance from 0% or purchase contributions of up to €2,000. Find the Volkswagen in you with the 261 range. Terms and conditions apply. Finance provided by way of hire purchase agreement from Volkswagen Financial Services Ireland and subject to lending criteria. Volkswagen Financial Services Ireland Limited is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. Visit volkswagenvans.ie for further information.
Order your 261 with Connolly's Volkswagen Commercials, Letterkenny. See connellys.ie.
Easy Living Furniture would like to invite you, our customers, to our annual Family and Friends event this Thursday, the 6th of November. We'll be offering a magical 50% off our full Christmas range, exclusively in store for one day only, including Christmas trees, decorations, baubles, garlands, wreaths and so much more. Don't miss out on our most enchanting sale of the year. Visit Easy Living Furniture, Crescent Link Retail Park, Derry, this Thursday.
At SuperValue, make it a Christmas with a difference. With your Real Rewards card, until Sunday, get Jacob's Afternoon Tea Biscuit Tin 800 gram for only €8. Get Signature Taste cheese, charcuterie and party food just 3 for €10. And fresh salmon darn save 33%. Make it a Christmas with a difference at SuperValue.
New season of fabrics have arrived in store at Fabric World Maydown. On trend and in stock, we have all the fabrics you need. Thousands of curtains, upholstery and craft fabrics at incredible stock prices. Call in for your free curtain design and quotation at Fabric World Derry. Great Euro rates for all our Euro customers.
The 9 till noon show with Letterkenny Credit Union, now offering mortgages from €40,000 to €600,000 with no hidden fees or transaction charges. Letterkenny Credit Union, 9102127.
Now, you may have heard that Minister Dara O'Brien, announced the expansion of the Fingal Pyrite Remediation Scheme, so Fingal homeowners get full state-funded support. The state pays, the state delivers the work, families are cared for. Now, you would be very familiar with the situation as it relates to defective concrete blocks in Donegal, and they although the government would say that the problem is solved, they have a very different experience with the defective concrete blocks scheme. And it should be pointed out, of course, that Fingal, very close to that minister's own backyard. Nicola Byrne joins me on the show now, and her family have been homeless for a month. Nicola, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. I do appreciate your time, and I'm genuinely very sorry with what you're having to endure.
Thanks, Greg. I really appreciate not only the time to talk to me this morning, but also for empathising with, the disastrous situation, which is a public health crisis for us at the minute. We're homeless and we're sleeping on the floor of a granny flat at the side of our house, which is also, infested with defective concrete blocks. But unfortunately, it's our only safe haven away from our home that is covered in rodent contamination.
How does it feel when you hear statements like, it was an interview, I think, with Miriam O'Callaghan, where Darragh O'Brien it was said to him, the defective concrete blocks issue is sorted, we have a scheme, and he nodded in approval. And then you hear extensions to the pyrite remediation scheme. Listen, these are our fellow country people. We're delighted for them, right? Don't get me wrong. But how does it make you feel in your situation when things are framed as such?
Look, I watched his proud announcement. He was so proud of this, serving his, as you said, his local candidates of his catchment area, where he is a representative. But look, he announced the expansion, and as you said, you hit the nail on the head there, Greg. They're pitting us against each other. You know what I mean? We want all to unite together. We're not begrudging those in Fingal who are covered on an end-to-end 100% compensatory scheme, different to ours. But what we feel is it's very unfair and it's very unjust. And not only that, it breaches. I'm not going to bore people with all the exact articles. But it breaches articles in the Irish Constitution, which states we all should be treated equally. It also breaches construction products regulations and compliance and EU charters, and the European Convention on Human Rights. And this is what hit home to me with my current situation. So our escalating protocol in European conventions on human rights states protection of home, private life and property. We're failed massively. And I'm sure, like everyone else is, even other homes in, say, Dublin, that don't fall within the remit of the Fingal, redress. This just proved to us they do not care about us. That's all we heard from that. They do not care. And it reeked. I know he mentioned his colleague and he was working with Minister James Brown, but it just reeked of cronyism. Minister James Brown isn't only the Minister of Housing for Darragh O'Brien's constituency, he's Minister for Housing for all of us. Why is this not given to all of us equally and fair?
It is quite confusing because... Sorry, go on. You wanted to make that final point. Please do, Nicholas. My apologies.
No, Greg. All I just wanted to say was I'm very aware that in Fingal it's only in the backfill, whereas the rest of us, we could have it in the backfill, we could have it, in the walls, everywhere, and all it is it might be in a different area, but it's the same defect.
You see, I want to emphasise the point in relation to that, because there seems to be a hierarchy of, deleterious materials, but fundamentally it's the same problem. And the government has committed and accepts that this is going to be a multi-annual €1 billion project. It's how you access the scheme, though, and the fairness of the scheme. It's frustrating for people affected by this, because you do have, as you've just mentioned there, and fair play to them, people in one part of the country being treated completely different to others in the likes of Clare, Mayo, where you are, Donegal, where I am, and it doesn't make sense, and it's really it hurts people, and they feel gaslit, and they feel neglected.
Well, I mean, every single thing you said there, checklist, with all the emotions I could feel within, not even a day, within multiple times to the day, with different conversations I had. And I said this, I brought this to Minister James Brown's office, and I had an email from one of his aides representatives that stated that they cannot help me in my situation or answer me at, they deal with things nationally, and that locally I have to go to my current county council. And this echoes the sentiment you said there, Greg. It said then following, each county council area handles the scheme as they see fit. Okay? So there's no equality and transparency. So it just so happens what each person, and this is common amongst all, in the redress chat groups. Every person, it's a postcode lottery, and how you're dealt with in the scheme. And as you can tell by my accent, I'm a Dub originally. So would I just have been luckier for this to happen to me if I still lived, in Dublin and was in the Fingal catchment area? Am I unlucky now that I moved up to Mayo, Yeah.
Where are you at? I'd be very familiar with the defective concrete box scheme here in Donegal and its processes and who's in and who's out, and, whether or not you can actually complete your property within the cap, etc., Nicola. But what is the situation for you in Mayo? Were you accepted onto the scheme? Will you be able to rebuild your house through the scheme? So what is your situation down there?
Well, Greg, we, first of all, when I found out that we had defective concrete blocks and I needed to apply for a redress scheme, I was met with the devastation news that because I bought after 2020, legislation will state that I don't qualify for redress grant. However, I didn't accept that. There's no way I was accepting that. I didn't want to. There was no way. I dealt and liaised with the defective block team in Mayo. We have one person here in Mayo who is heading that, and that's difficult for her. It's not. This is ridiculous. Allowing one person handling this, and she advocated on my behalf, and I had to prove my case. So then this, myself and my husband became almost, lawyers, proving our case. We had to provide detailed property folio of the sale, and we also had to provide accounts and letters that stated and proved. And we also had an engineer's report done internally and externally, which said, oh, it's all superficial, Now, I know an engineer's report is a BCA report or core testing, but you can't core test every single house you view. But what you do is, when I had that engineer, I expected him to say, well, look, I feel this might warrant further investigation.
Yeah.
But he stated that there was nothing he felt was progressive. So on to the story. I had to wait for, I provided them with that, and then it took 5 months. So, and again, I'll refute, it wasn't the person who handles with defective blocks in Mayo. Unfortunately, it was out of her hands. She had to send it on to their legal. So that took 5 months. 5 months I had to wait there, biting my nails, wondering how, we're not going to afford this. So then I got the letter back to say that, we felt you met in good faith. However, so there was a slight bit of joy there, but then the tone changed again. However, we note by the engineer's report that our children have complex medical needs. Some are autistic. They're all autistic, as am I as well, but our children also have heart issues, so they're cardiologists. We have to have a sensory room and a mini home gym to do regular therapies for our kids, and that's what's up in that attic. And also the other room is an office, because we have to work at home being full-time carers. Okay. So they said to us, you need to go, before you can go onto the scheme, you need to go and get retention for that space. And I said to them, this is going to cost a couple of thousand and delay me another 3 months. I won't do that in the floor space, because we're not going to be able to. And anyway, the max cap of 462 is too short. And anyway, we're looking at hundreds of thousands shortfall. And they said the same to me again. We have to go back to legal. So that's where I'm at. I have a full BCA report stating we meet the threshold.
What a nightmare. It's just, I mean, you have to be an engineer, you have to be a campaigner, you have to be a lawyer, you have to be a mum, you have to be a carer, you have to be a worker. I mean, it's a terrible, terrible burden, but it's a very familiar story here. One question, Nicola, if you don't mind me asking, and this is not as a criticism to any other arms of the media, but we've covered this story right from the very beginning, really, and, you know, we discuss it regularly with people like yourself, but also those behind sort of campaigning in Europe, the science, etc. Is it a big story in the Midwest? Is it a big story in the media, in Mayo, radio stations, newspapers, etc.? And as I say, I'm not trying to set you up to be critical, because maybe it is, but I'm just curious because I would hope that people up here know that, you know, they've got this platform with this program, and hopefully it can make a difference here and there. I'm just wondering what the situation is like for you down in the Midwest.
Well, actually, I think that's brilliant to bring this up. It's an important one, and it's one that's very frustrating. And the meeting we had last night in Ballina, you know, many echoed this sentiment. Obviously, to us, first of all, I want to say, it seems to be a media blackout. Yourself and Highland Radio have been very good in highlighting this plight, and we also have some local reporters with the Independent. Oisin has been very good in sharing my story for the Irish Independent. But other than use, I constantly bombard. You know, not only to that fact that you said all those different jobs that I had to be. You know, I had to be a news correspondent, you know, because I mass send out media emails pleading with people, you know, to give this more airtime. And I did speak with researchers on Liveline. I haven't heard back from them, and I urged them, you know, for them to give the national airwaves.
I kind of have, I would have a little bit of an insight into their position on this, and that it's being covered extensively elsewhere in the news section of RT, so wouldn't hold your breath there. I just think it's very important, and I don't want to be preachy, and we don't get it right all the time, but it's very important that the media understands what its actual role is. We aren't PR companies for the government or for organisations or for builders. We're here to sort of cover the stories, hold people to account, and, you know, back the people when that's required as well. So sometimes you wonder if the media is its own worst enemy. Nicola, listen, I hope things improve quickly. I know you're not going to take anything lying down, that you're going to keep advocating for you and your family, and I just hope you get some sort of a respite from what you're going through soon, and you can retire from some of those roles we discussed. But it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks a million, Greg. Thanks for your time.
Look after yourself. All right, that's Nicola Byrne, who's down in County Mayo, with a very familiar story to us up here, of course, and a lot of people listening to the show it will resonate with. You know exactly what she's going through down there, because there's so much of that crappy stuff in our blocks up here. All right, it is the 9 till noon show here in Highland Radio. We're broadcasting still live from An Grianan, but everyone's cleared off. That's why it's so quiet. They are at the moment in the body of the theatre as part of Donegal Giving. It's a new initiative. I have to take an ad break, but take that in a sec. It's a new initiative, and we'll see where it goes from here. You can listen back to the first hour of the show if you missed it, because we really drilled into it. But we've got loads of people to chat to yet on the programme, and even a little bit of live music. All that on the way on the 9 till noon show.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union. Seasonal loans now available for Christmas. Apply online or via our app today and get your loan transferred directly to your current account.
Join the team at Homeland Agri Lifford for a Healthy Hoofs and Haired Care event on Wednesday, 12th of November from 10 a.m. Speakers include Francis Burns on hoof care, Dylan Cook on farm solar, and the Arrivo Farm profitability team will conduct a water quality class. Topics covered will include improving herd mobility and foot trimming. See homeland.ie for details and live demo times.
If you know the beauty and skincare product that suits you best, you'll find them at McGee's Chemist Letterkenny. From moisturisers, cleansers and toners to day creams and night creams, McGee's have the top brands you know and love, like Lancôme, Clarins and La Roche-Posay. Also Elizabeth Arden, Vichy, Nukes and many more. All at McGee's Chemist, Main Street, Letterkenny, and online at mcgees.ie, where the best costs less.
My Future Fund, the new auto-enrollment retirement savings scheme, is coming. You pay in, your employer pays in, and the state tops it up. It all adds up to a great way to save for your future and something to look forward to. For more information, visit gov.ie/auto-enrollment. Brought to you by the Government of Ireland.
Got a hidden leak? AMG Leak Detection provides a professional plumbing service throughout Donegal and surrounding areas. Using the latest technology, we find and fix leaks quickly. No mess, no hassle. From pipes to drains, we're here to save you time and money. Don't wait for costly damage. Call AMG Leak Detection today on 086 236 2774 for a leak-free home. AMG Leak Detection. Detect, repair, protect.
Tesco Club Card gives you the power to more. We're rolling out our incredible can't-miss offers every week on Christmas favourites in-store and online. Starting with €8 each on Jacob's biscuit tins like Afternoon Tea, Elite Chocolate Kimberley and Chocolate Mikado. Keep an eye out for our amazing can't-miss offers each week this Christmas season. Get more from your shop with your Tesco Club Card or app. Helping feed your Christmas spirit. Tesco. Every little helps. Available in most stores. Prices vary and express quotas will apply.
Highland Radio weather updates with McElhinney's. Discover Christmas gift ideas for everyone on your list, from trending beauty to memorable Secret Santa gifts. Visit us in Ballybuffet to explore our extensive range of gifts or shop online at mcilhenneys.com today.
Let's have a look at that weather forecast. A dull and misty start, which has given way now to rain mostly clearing northwards, with some mist and fog lingering potentially. Limited bright spells will develop through the day, but with some scattered showers too. A mild day with temperatures of 12 to 16 degrees. Right, now I'm joined on the programme by Karen Porter. Karen, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're well. Hello, Karen, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Greg. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Karen.
Good morning, Greg.
You've been really through the mill lately, Karen. I just want you to tell your story, if you know what I mean, because your words will frame it far better than I could with questions. So, what is the situation?
Well, I'll keep it as brief as I can. Greg, this has gone back almost 11 weeks now on the 23rd of August. It was just a normal Saturday, late afternoon at our home here in Inishowen, and we were at home here ourselves, and my husband's Cahill and our eldest son was out in the shed doing normal father and son things, you know, on Saturday, and I was inside myself and my other son, you know. So after a short time, I was in the kitchen myself, and I noticed some cattle had broken out. There's actually a lane beside our home, you know, and so I went out to say to our son Dara that the cattle had broken out. They belonged to a neighbour, so that was fine. They had actually were heading down, you know, along to go out to the main road, you know. So my son then went over and he went over to help the neighbour with the cattle and to send them back down to the lane that they'd come out of. And in the meantime, my husband must have as well headed over to help. And there's just a small gate between our home and the lane, and he went down the other end to help as well. So after a very, very short time, it felt like a few seconds, to be honest, our son was heading down with our neighbour to put the cattle back in where they belonged, and the cattle wouldn't go any further. They had just stood in the middle of the lane, they weren't anywhere, and my son ran down to see, and he noticed that my husband was lying face down in the lane beside our home.
How quickly things can change, Karen, and you don't really know at this point, do you, what led to him being found like that?
No,
whether it was a fall
actually,
or a turn or a cow or whatever it might be.
We're not sure. No, we're not actually sure what happened, but we immediately got in contact with the emergency services, and I have to just basically I'm really grateful for them, and the quick care professionalism that we received from them. They were very, very quick, and I'd just like to thank them personally myself.
It's amazing, and it's a reminder to us how quickly life can change. You're probably thinking about something that evening or watching a film or whatever, and next thing you know, fast forward 11 months, he was taken to Beaumont, put in an induced coma. You've got him closer to home, but you're still quite a distance away, and you're trying to balance everything. Your life, your bills.
I suppose your bills, your family, and we've 3 children ourselves, and we've twins who are 18, and then we have a 13-year-old son, and he was actually due to start the local secondary school on the Tuesday, which was 3 days, after the accident. Cahill's accident was the Saturday, so our son was due to start first year in secondary school, so it was a very challenging time. I was in Beaumont myself with Cahill, and I travelled up on the Monday night so I could be with our son on Tuesday as he started school. So it was quite an emotional, and it was very, trying time, but with strength and with help from family and close friends and everything, we couldn't have done it without them,
Is that what keeps you going, Karen? I mean, there's a strength. You obviously have an inner strength. I mean, you're amazing with what you've done, and he's so lucky to have you, right? But where have you got this? I mean, we know the support is there, but where have you got this strength in yourself from?
I don't really know. There's days sometimes I wonder, how I got through things, and I look back and think, I don't know how I came through it, but at the same time, I just feel I have to keep going, just to get Cahill better, to get him back here to us, as soon as he possibly can, and just I have to be here for the children, and I have 2 going to college, and that I have to keep supporting them every way I can as well, and be the best mother that I can be, basically.
Well, it's obvious they're very, very lucky to have you. There's just no doubt about that. How is his recovery going now in rehab in Letterkenny?
Yeah, he's doing quite well. I mean, I can see he's making progression every week, and that definitely is small steps. But we're very grateful that we still have him with us, and that things could have been a lot worse, Greg. And I just feel very thankful, and I just think that life is so precious, And I'd like to reflect on our journey. Reminded that yes, indeed, life is full of ups and downs every day, but with hope, love, support, we can get through anything.
Right, if you need anything, will you be in touch, will you? If there's any help I can give you, or if you're planning anything, or I don't know, anything at all, will you get in contact?
No, I mean, I will, surely. No, I just wanted to, it was really, to come on and thank especially the emergency services and all the hospitals and staff, and especially our own 2 families as well, who've been, great support every way. I mean, they dropped everything and just rallied round to help, which is just means so much to us, and we can't thank them enough.
Well
especially
done.
Neighbours and friends, family, everything, and work colleagues as well. So.
Okay, well, look after yourself, please, and pass on our best wishes.
All right, Greg. Thanks very much.
Fair play to you.
Thank
all
you
right.
now.
Lovely stuff. Thank you very much
all
indeed.
Right, thanks,
okay,
Greg.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Greg.
All right.
Bye-bye, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We'll be back with more after, we'll be back with news, in fact, after the break.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, offering low-rate car loans with fast approval. Apply online at letterkennycu.ie or in office today.
Check out Meehan's of Raffo for a fantastic selection of top brands. New range of chinos, polo shirts, quarter zips, hoodies and shirts up to 5XL. Special offer, jeans $39.99 or 2 for €70. Meehan's of Raffo, Christmas Club now open.
Without people like you, our efforts would fall flat. But when people like you give blood, someone in need gets a lifeline. Maybe someone just like you. We never get to choose when to need blood, but we can choose when to give. Find out how to become a donor at giveblood.ie. We count on you.
Experience an evening of pure magic as one of Ireland's most beloved composers returns to the stage. Join Phil Coulter for Tranquility by Candlelight, live at An Grianan Theatre, Letterkenny on Tuesday, November 11th. A night of beautiful music, heartfelt stories and soothing serenity. Tickets are now available from angrianan.com or An Grianan Theatre box office. Don't miss Phil Coulter, Tranquility by Candlelight, Tuesday, November 11th at An Grianan Theatre, Letterkenny.
At DoorTech Garage Door Systems in Kilmacrennan, we specialise in the supply and installation of all types of industrial roller doors and garage doors. Whether for your home, business or farm, our doors offer the security you need. For premium quality doors, call DoorTech on 9139941 or visit doortech.ie.
Get ready for an exciting day at Heron Auto Donegal Town. Join us Wednesday, November 12th from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. for our open day. Check out all the latest Kia models, including the new Stonic and K4 petrol cars, EV4 and EV5 electric cars. Call in and have a chat with our friendly team about the Kia that's right for you. Heron Auto, Wednesday, November 12th from 9 to 9. Don't miss it.
Nutria's Lamb Finisher ATP is now on promotion at your local Homeland store. Buy 10 bags, get one free, or get €15 off per tonne in bulk. Nutria's Lamb Finisher contains 16% crude protein and an ideal balance of energy and protein with intake booster for faster finish. Can be fed to both yo and ram lambs. Contact your local Homeland store or farm commercial specialist today. Visit nutrias.ie for full product details.
Good morning, it's 11 o'clock. The headlines on Highland with Donal Kavanagh. The extent to which the defective block crisis is affecting schools is coming under the microscope, with the government this week confirming it's developing a strategy to deal with school buildings that are affected. The commitment is contained in a reply from Minister Helen McEntee to a Dáil question tabled by Deputies Padraig McLaughlin and Pearse Doherty after they visited Drumfad National School in Fanad. That's one of 16 schools in Donegal which have already applied for funding for testing or remediation. Meanwhile, Senator Eileen Flynn has told the Seanad that her own children may have to leave their creche as early as next week because it's affected by defective blocks. She said many people don't realise there is no remediation scheme in place for non-residential buildings, even those providing vital public services as childcare and education. Senator Flynn revealed it's an issue that could have an impact on her own family, and she wants a comprehensive discussion about defective blocks and the need for more supports on the floor of the Seanad. The Northern Ireland Secretary has played down the prospect of a border poll. Hilary Benn says there is still no appetite for United Ireland as far as he can see. He made the comments during a visit to Lisburn this week. He was reviewing the Windsor framework in action. Asked about the possibility of a poll, Mr Benn says there are far more pressing issues. Poultry farmers remain on alert after another confirmed case of bird flu. It was detected in a commercial turkey flock near Kells in County Meath. That's now the subject of an exclusion zone after confirmed cases in Carlow and Cork. The Department of Agriculture is imposing a mandatory order for all poultry and captive birds to be kept indoors from next Monday. And Uisce Éireann says repairs to a burst water main in Redcastle may cause supply disruptions to Upper Cabry and surrounding areas over the course of the morning and early afternoon. A traffic management will remain in place for the duration of the works, which are set to last until 4:30. And they're the headlines. We're back with news headlines again at 12 noon. Check all the day's news, of course, on highlandradio.com. For now, from the news team, good morning.
At Aldi, Black Friday's not just one day, it lasts a whole month. So time to take advantage of some phenomenal offers. In store November 6th, a sharp 50-inch smart TV for just $299.99. Tell you what, that's worth watching. A double stack air fryer at a very tasty $79.99. And a walking pad only $109.99. So, better step on it and get down to Aldi while stocks last.
OK, we're broadcasting live today from An Grianan Theatre in Letterkenny. It's got a little bit noisier again because the first session here at the Donegal Giving event, which we talked extensively about in the first hour of the show, is over, and they're all heading down for a scone, so bear with us if there's a bit of background noise. Now, some of your comments here. A caller says the waiting times for a driving test in Donegal can be very long. If the system cannot process the existing queue, adding a compulsory deadline for tens of thousands of long-term learners could create an even worse bottleneck. But there's 8,000 tests where people don't turn up at all, so I presume they're hoping that will service demand. Another forcing a young person to redo the full process after 4 years just because they couldn't get a test date or failed is a significant financial penalty and very unfair. And another, Greg, the RSA must somehow manage to its backlog and significantly increase its testing capacity before this can be enforced. 086 60 25,000 is the WhatsApp and text number. Now, I mentioned happenstance of a meeting between myself and Stephen Devaney at another outside broadcast, and we said we'd have a chat about an event he was planning, and fast forward to today, and here we are. Stephen Devaney, thank you so much for joining me. How are you keeping?
Good morning, Greg. I'm okay, considering, yeah.
Thanks very much for joining us.
No problem.
And this fundraiser comes off the back of a huge loss for you and your family. Talk to me about Julie McCormick Devaney and what happened to her, as much as you're comfortable in talking about it, Stephen.
Yeah. My wife, Julie McCormick Devaney, she passed away in June. She died on 5th of June from a very short and aggressive battle with cancer. So she went into the hospital with lung problems. Now, this would have been, my wife had she was an asthmatic, and she had an underlying autoimmune problem, so she would get chest infections from time to time and get pneumonia in the worst case scenario. So we thought she'd go into hospital, but as it transpired, she had pancreatic cancer that had spread to her lungs, that more or less by the time we found it was there, she had, as the doctors give her, 4 weeks to live.
And there were sort of potentially, I suppose, in hindsight, little indicators, but nothing that could have prepared you for that diagnosis.
Hindsight's a great thing, and looking back on it, the earliest that I could say that there was any sort of signs that there was anything different about it is Christmas, no earlier than Christmas. Offer, maybe a glass of wine, no, I don't want that, and not not eating, sort of these type of things, and complaining, getting out of bed in the morning, complaining that she had a sore back, a persistent sore back, which I think is a sign of pancreatic cancer. Apparently it manifests as a pain in the back that won't go away. So just things like that, and saying that she's not feeling well. But that is it, realistically. I couldn't tell you any earlier than Christmas.
Yeah, there's no rapid weight loss?
No rapid weight loss, none of those classic indicators. And I mean, the story that I tell people, it's the unbelievability of it. On Mother's Day, on the 30th of March, she and I were up in Belfast. We stayed in a hotel. We went at dinner. We went to see a comedian, Catherine Ryan, in the waterfront. We had a life, and eight weeks later, I'm burying her.
Yeah, because it was a sudden death.
Sudden death,
and we don't necessarily associate that with cancer. Unfortunately, though, I'm hearing more and more instances.
Explosive cancers, this is what they're sort
especially
of...
in women of a certain age, where it by the time, it's there, it's got to the point where it can't be held back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you're dealing with something like this, you're dealing with, your wife's situation and the reality she must face, your own Stephen, what your life will become.
Yeah.
And you've got 3 children. 21, 11 and 9.
Sophie the baby, she's 9, yeah.
I mean, there's so much there, isn't it, to sort of deal with for you?
Well, that's it exactly. And I mean, I remember the story's sort of extraordinary. When we were in oncology, and there was 2 wards. She was in an A&E or in the hospital, oncology, and she was in medical 2 or medical 3 again. Then there was nurses. They're great. They're great people. But she was told, based on one scan, that there might be a surgical option. So that basically, if they can treat what were at that time spots on her lungs or mets, that they could go in and surgically remove the pancreas. And that was fine. And I went back to work on the Tuesday morning. We were told that on a Monday, and I went back to work on a Tuesday morning, and thought, I'm in for a year. We're in for a year of chemo and whatever else, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it. We'll beat it. And basically, she was told on the Tuesday that no, based on a scan that was done in the interim time, that the cancer had more or less consumed her lungs, and that she had 3 to 4 weeks to live, and any chemo that they can offer might buy her a week, but any quality of life that she might have in those 4 to 5 weeks would be gone.
What a call to have to make.
Yeah, and she sat with that knowledge and knowing that she's going to die in a month, basically. And I don't know where she got the strength out of it. I couldn't do it.
And like this other stuff that goes on that we don't necessarily consider unless you've gone through that, like the conversations.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to we all going to die, right?
Of course.
But to be able to know that it's coming and to I don't know, give you instructions about the kids,
Yeah,
or
something clicked in her.
Discuss about what happens after you pass away.
Yeah.
I understand she kept a diary. Can you even face that at this point?
I've read a bit of it. A lot of it's can't. She wrote me a letter because we didn't even say goodbye. That's the reality. But how do you say goodbye to somebody that you've been with for 23 years, and you've built a life with, and you've all these, you're so connected and plus no time. Like literally, and I was in a state of shock. I didn't know what was going on, and you're running around. And funny, one of the things that clicked with her, once she knew what was happening, Sophie's communion was the highly motivating factor in her. She was, by hook or by crook, she was getting to this event, and she was wheeled into our house on the 24th of May in a wheelchair with an oxygen tank at 45 years of age. And
was that her last time?
That was her last time in our house, yeah. And it's funny,
was there an awareness there?
Oh, though, of course she knew that, and I see it now looking at photographs of the day. She's looking at Sophie, and she's looking around her, and you can see it in her face. She knows it's the last time she's going to be in our home, and I don't know how a person copes with that. I don't know. She was strong. She was that type of individual. She was very strong, highly independent, well educated, intelligent lady, and she just got strength out of somewhere to do what she did.
I've been asked. It seems like I've had to ask this question on multiple occasions to different people. You have to be strong yourself. You have to be strong for yourself. You have to be strong for your children. And I presume you feel you owe your wife to be strong as well,
exactly,
right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But
look after my kids is what she said to me. Not look after our kids. Look after my kids. So.
I know. I hear that a bit myself too. So what keeps you?
The
keeps
children.
You keeping?
It's funny. I would have judged people not knowing what the hell I was talking about. The way some people deal with grief, and people can fall apart, and the impulse to just let it all. Just don't worry about things, and just let it just sort of basically go tick to the bed and pull the covers over your head and not let the world in. And I shouldn't have, because I didn't know what the hell I was talking about, because that impulse is there. But I have too many people depending on me.
Do people say to you it hasn't hit you yet?
It hasn't hit me yet, and it's funny.
But it might not hit you. You see.
No.
People say that, and I think they think they're being constructive or what have you. But everyone deals with grief differently, and the hitting you is the reality. You know what's happened, right? And you know what you have to do.
Yeah.
And that's it. I just think sometimes people say that to people, and it's meant nicely, right? But it doesn't tell the full story.
Not at all. And one thing that this has shown me is not particularly, I don't particularly show my emotions to people or talk in them ways, but people are genuinely very good. They might say things that are maybe a wee bit silly or perceived as but it's all coming from a place of
care,
good in the heart,
course,
and care,
yeah.
and everybody. And that's the thing about a tragedy like this. It shows you within the community how good people are. I mean, with friends of our children's mothers phoning me and saying, "Can I do anything for you? Do you need these things done?" I'm a very domesticated person. I didn't need it, but they were basically offering to come in and change beds and cook dinners and these type of things for me. And it really shows you how good people are behind it all.
You're an old romantic at heart, or is that just something new?
I think that's something new, yeah.
Is it?
This is definitely a changed experience for me, yeah.
There's layers of meaning to this fundraiser.
There is, yeah. Well, we've it's been held in McGinley's on Sunday the 30th of November. And why McGinley's? Well, our first date was Dinner in the Yellow Pepper back in 2002, and then on to McGinley's. And sort of every date night after that, where we were still in Letterkenny, was a variation of that. It's just that's where we went. I always had to see a band. You see, that was used to irritate her, but that she used to have to suffer. She got the meal and the wine, and I got to see a band. That was the trade-off. And then we're up the back actually. So just people might think it's not in the bar. It's up in the back area, and we have a marquee erected, or we will have a marquee erected. And so there'll be plenty of space, and people don't have to sit and watch the bands all day. They can come down, and there's the open air, and Stephen and McGinley's is kindly putting on a barbecue for everybody. So, and then I'm back with the band that I was playing in when I met her, and then I'm playing with 3 bands that day.
You're with Humble Earthworm.
I'm with
now,
Humble
aren't
Earthworm, yeah.
Right. Who were you with originally?
A band called the Barefoot Disciples.
Right. Okay.
That's how I met her. We were playing up in Keeney's Bar in Glenties, and she was working as a waitress up in Keeney's Bar. So that's how
I think you've almost written a song there.
That's how I met her, and that was it. I mean, you meet a person by chance playing in a bar. She's waitressing, I'm drumming, and 23 years later, you're still
amazing.
together, yeah. And you know,
and there's even a significance to the fact that that band you were with are there as well. I would say the people in the industry, it's a small enough family, isn't it? Right?
Oh yeah, particularly
they've
in Donegal,
really rallied behind this. With
yeah,
you.
well, between all the boys that are playing, they are connected to us. So of the 7 bands playing, I've either played in them, or they're friends of ours or people that are involved, and they're all donating their time for free. And Darren McGee's providing of audio rent, is providing sound and light on the day, and Reynolds Foe, who I worked for a very long time, are providing staging and various bits and pieces. So again, everybody's great.
It's to honour your wife as much as well as raising money for the hospice.
Yeah.
Do you feel it's like that?
Of course, yeah, because all her work colleagues, because she had a great career and she had a load of work colleagues and friends. They weren't even colleagues, a lot of them were genuine friends, and she was a very social person. She had a large extended friend group, and I don't know, I'm actually getting concerned that the venue might be too small, but we'll see on the day. But
well, they haven't fully taken that tent down yet.
No, exactly, out there. And again, all us, we're all in our mid-40s now, or most of us are in our mid-40s, so bedtime is unfortunately 9 o'clock, so I can't imagine they might filter out around 8:30.
But listen, you've done as much as you can to insulate yourself from the weather and all. It's going to be a cracking day. It's in McGinley's Bar, right at the back of it, on Sunday the 30th of November. There's the cream of bands there, and a barbecue as well. And the mood, is it... You know, I mean, obviously you're reflecting, right? But you can also have to continue to honour your wife. Is it? You want to have a good day.
I want people to have a good day,
yeah,
and talk about her. And I know her friend Ali and Sandra. They're putting together like almost a shrine of photographs and things, and get everybody talking about. Yeah, and that won't be a problem. The people that are there, they're going to enjoy it. I know it'll be a great day. And the hospice, just to talk about the hospice, if I may, because
this is your time, so
they are what they did for us in those 14 or 15 days that she was in the hospice, like organising a movie night for me and the kids, and that was the last night that obviously my eldest boy would have been in and out all the time, but that was the last night that me and Julie and Ethan or Adam and Sophie spent together as a family, and they organised that. They can't do enough for you. We actually got married in the hospice, because that's another long story. We were together 23 years, but we're engaged since 2014. We never got around to doing it because of pregnancies and people being at college and different things. Life just got in the way. And we got married on Monday the 19th of May in the hospice. And again, they decorated a room and they couldn't have done enough for us. So the funds that are raised, as I understand it, the funds that are raised for this go to all those niceties that families get.
It's astonishing what they've contributed, isn't it, between that last night together as a family, facilitating the big day. I mean, that's not in the title.
Not at all.
Stuff
Not at all. No,
that comes from the heart within that organisation.
That's all extras, and those nurses and the staff up there, the catering staff and management, they couldn't do enough. They're in fluff pillows. They just can't do enough for you. And really, that's a great cause, and it's a place I hope I never see the inside of again, or I don't see the inside of it for a long time. Yep. But we're better looking at it than for it. There's no two ways about it.
I know exactly what you mean by that. So, folks, we want to make sure that the venue's too wee.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's
busting out the door.
It's on Sunday the 30th of November. It's at McGinley's Bar. And it starts at 4 p.m.
Doors open 3, so
3-ish,
feel free to come on.
And it's going to be a fantastic day of music, of food, of conversation, of memories, of support.
Yep.
And everything as well. So it's just roll up on the day. That's it, isn't it?
That's it.
So
and if you're on Facebook, if you put in Julie McCormick Devaney Memorial Fundraiser into Facebook, the event should come up. You'll see Julie's beautiful face as a picture, and there's an I Donate link, and there's a QR code there. So basically, just if people wanted to go onto the site and donate, and it goes straight to the hospice.
Even if you can't get along, effectively.
Even if you can't get along, exactly, please
sure.
donate. Yeah.
Okay, listen, Stephen. I suppose too. I was going to say we need to sort of look out, get everything checked, but that doesn't mean anything in your, because your wife knew the story, right? And there was nothing could have indicated the severity of her illness, but we can't say go to the doctor immediately. You've got a sore back or what have you, but trust yourself.
I suppose what my thing was, Julie being a mommy and being that type of, she put everybody else's needs first, and she's constantly was at me about, my health or whatever, the child's health, the children's health. Whereas she mightn't have, get your bloods done. I couldn't tell you the last time she got them done independently of being in hospital, for those occasions that she was in hospital. So, I don't know if it would have made a difference, but perhaps if she'd have been getting regular blood tests, we might have got to it
Or it might
sooner.
make a difference to someone listening
to someone
this.
else, exactly right. Particularly at our age now, it's far too prevalent, and if the markers show up on a blood test, at least you have some kind of fighting chance, because by the time it got to her, she had no chance of fighting it, and I literally told her that it consumed her lungs.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Listen, Stephen, well done. You're doing her proud. You're doing your family proud as well. And, it's for the Donegal Hospice, and none of us can do enough for them.
No.
And as you so rightly put it, you don't want to be in the doors, but you want it to be there if you ever need it. Stephen, thanks for being so open and sharing the story. But it's a lovely opportunity to remember your wife and the amazing woman she is as well. Too. And people shouldn't be afraid of that. I don't think
exactly, and I'll never forget her. I'll never, it's just there was a great funny. I was at a funeral or a wedding, and it's a civil ceremony much like ours, and there was one of the readings was about two trees that become so intertwined that. And the roots, once you cut away the branches, they're one tree, and I found that very profound on the day, because that is what happens. You two people spend a life together, they grow together, and there's no separating them.
Yeah. Lovely. Okay, and a very nice sentiment to leave it on. Stephen Devaney, thank you very, very much indeed.
Greg, thank you.
Appreciate it. And just to let you know that fundraiser, and you know what, forget the fact that it's a fundraiser, go along and enjoy it and throw a few quid in to the buckets or whatever. It's going to be a fantastic day of entertainment. It's in McGinley's Bar, Letterkenny. It's on Sunday the 30th of November. The event gets underway at 4 p.m. Doors open 3-ish, okay, and they've got a marquee out the back. There's going to be a barbecue. And you can check out, by the way, Julie McCormick Devaney fundraiser on socials, and you can donate now to the hospice in her memory and to support Stephen, even if you can't get to that event. Okay, listen, we'll be back with more on the 9 till noon show after we take this break.
The 9 till noon show with Letterkenny Credit Union. Simplify your debts with a debt consolidation loan from Letterkenny Credit Union. Call us on 074 910 2126 or apply online via our app or in office today.
TFI Local Link operates evening and weekend services throughout rural Ireland to help you stay connected 7 days a week. We know life doesn't just happen 9 to 5, so if you're commuting, shopping, visiting family, or going out in the evenings or on the weekends, let TFI Local Link take you there. Visit transportforireland.ie.
The High Kings are back this January with their Rocky Road Tour. One of Ireland's favourite folk groups live in concert at the Mount Erigal Hotel, Letterkenny on January 2nd. The Millennium Forum Derry, January 3rd. And Belfast's Waterfront Hall on January 4th. With new songs and classic favourites and energy only the High Kings can bring. Tickets on sale now from the venue box office and Ticketmaster.ie. Presented by Joe Gallagher Entertainments.
Worldwide travel made easy from Donegal Airport. Twice daily Aer Lingus flights via Dublin connect you to Aer Lingus and Qatar's global network. Enjoy a smooth journey. Book now at airlingus.com and start your next adventure from Donegal Airport.
Here, would you look at Eco Enda? He's only after going and getting himself one of them new Skoda EVs.
First he went vegan, then he got solar panels, now this.
I'm sure he'd buy anything as long as he can get a grant for it.
Must be from that county beside Monaghan.
The new fully electric Skoda range. The kind of cars that get the neighbours talking. But only if you're quick. Check availability at skoda.ie. Skoda, let's explore.
Skoda. Your local Skoda dealer is DMG Motors, Clar Road, Donegal Town. Telephone 074 9721396.
Highland Radio Time Checks brought to you by EirGrid, the operator and developer of Ireland's electricity grid. EirGrid, powering up communities, powering up Ireland. The time is...
let me see. The time now is 11:23. You're very welcome back to the 9 till noon show here on Highland Radio. Someone asks where are we broadcasting from. We are broadcasting live from An Grianan Theatre. It's part of the Donegal Giving event. They've had the first session and they've broken for some tea and a scone, and they are starting to get back into the theatre itself very, very shortly. Now, Paul Anderson is Youth Information Officer with the Donegal Youth Service. Good morning to you. I am doing... I beg your pardon. We'll get that sorted in a sec. Right, now, talk to me about the Youth Employability Cafe pilot.
I've been working on a program called Targeted Youth Employability Support Initiative for the past year, and we have had a number of people do that. Some of them have got jobs, some of them have went on to third level education and various things, but we also get young people who just want to come in and they just want a taster from it, support with CVs or interview skills, anything to do with employability, and just had the idea that maybe once a month, this is the pilot, where they could just drop in and get an update and talk to other young people and ourselves, myself and Kasia, who's the Youth Information Centre officer, to get support in an informal casual environment, which the loft is in Donegal Youth Service, just above the TB there in Port Road.
You've had your first session, have you? You've had your first session, have you?
No, tomorrow's the first session, and it's open to anyone who is aged between 15 and 24 who's not in education or employment or training, and the idea is to get them on that career pathway.
And we're trying to reach people today, I suppose, so that they will attend. So if people are hearing this for the first time, they can go along?
Oh yeah, of course. And one of the great things that we find is that it can change people's lives, improve their mental health and their wellness. So it fits in exactly with what you're doing today.
Yeah, I was going to say that. It is almost by coincidence, isn't it? But you could be here today. It's that type of an event.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had other things to do.
Well, no, I wasn't.
Greg,
I wasn't calling you.
there.
I was not calling you out, my friend. But I'm just saying, it's all part of the same sort of ethos, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right, Greg. Thank you.
Okay, just recap then. Where is it? When is it? And who are you inviting to attend?
Okay, it's on tomorrow morning from 9:30 till 12 o'clock in the loft, which is at Donegal Youth Service on the Port Road, Letterkenny, across the road from where the grill was. It's on the 4th floor, just above the ETB, and any young person who is aged between 15 and 24 who wants help with their CV, interview skills, how to find what kind of career might be of help, might fit into what they need, and that any kind of questions or queries can drop in. They can also meet other young people who've been through TIC, who might have some tips and ideas that could help them as well.
Great stuff. Listen, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And that was Paul Anderson there. 086 60 25,000 is the WhatsApp and text number. 086 60 25,000. If you prefer, you can give us a call on 074 91 25,000. Now, of course, tomorrow we are back in our studio. And if you want, I'm sorry, it's Friday, so what we're kicking off with, of course, is the Friday panel with the usual mix of guests discussing all the big stories of the week and the day. We'd love you to be a part of that, and we've got so much more coming up on that day as well. Let me see. Hi, Greg. Do you know if the breakdown of tallies by polling station for recent presidential election are available anywhere? In the past, they were published in local newspapers. Well, I'm not sure if you can still access it, but the Tyrconnell Tribune did a centre pullout. I'm not saying other papers didn't, but the Tyrconnell Tribune did a centre pullout with all of those details. That would have been not last week, the week before's copy, so maybe call their office or try and grab yourself a copy. Hi, could you wish a big happy 18th birthday to our daughter Maeve, who is sitting at the kitchen table in County Cavan on a study day for her leaving cert, listening to Greg in the background. Where have those years gone? Lots of love for Mum, Dad, Ronan, Sinead and Sinead McClune. Well, listen, I'll take anyone listening to the show, whether they're in Cavan, Donegal, Galway, wherever they are. Maeve, a very happy 18th birthday, and it's great to hear that you're staying up to date with everything that's happening at home with us here on the 9 till noon show. Right, we have plenty more guests to introduce to you over the course of the next half an hour. We've even got some live music for you, if you don't mind. That's all on the way after we take a short break.
Watch the show live now on YouTube, Facebook and at highlandradio.com. The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union. Digital loans now available. Apply online or via our app today and get your loan transferred directly to your current account.
D-Day for derogation in this week's Irish Farmers Journal as Brussels decision. Pressure mounts on Agriculture Minister Martin Hayden to retain Ireland's nitrates derogation. Payment cuts looming for livestock farmers. High beef prices hitting cattle exports. Irish butters go head-to-head in US supermarkets. What the new nitrates proposals mean for your dairy farm. Why small farmers need pension entitlements. Plus, all you need to know about Dairy Day next week in our free supplement. Only inside this week's Irish Farmers Journal.
Everybody has the right to be heard. If a person has a challenge with communication or decision-making, there are many ways to enable their voice, such as meeting in person, using assistive technology, or together with their appointed decision supporter.
Respecting rights is a responsibility of all services, and it's the law.
My voice is my right. Assisted decision-making law means I decide.
Safeguardingday.ie from Safeguarding Ireland and the HSE.
Join me, Marty Freely, every Friday night from 8 for Rocket Hits on Highland Radio in association with Arena 7. Dine in our newly refurbished Woodbury Grill, Bar and Restaurant this Christmas with DJ After in the Bowling Bar. Book your Christmas night out at Arena 7 today.
Easy Living Furniture would like to invite you, our customers, to our annual Family and Friends event this Thursday, the 6th of November. We'll be offering a magical 50% off our full Christmas range, exclusively in store for one day only, including Christmas trees, decorations, baubles, garlands, wreaths and so much more. Don't miss out on our most enchanting sale of the year. Visit Easy Living Furniture, Crescent Link Retail Park, Derry, this Thursday.
From home and car to farm, commercial and public liability, at Hickey Clark and Langan, they've got you covered for insurance. They shop around all the leading insurers to make sure you get a great deal. If you're looking for a competitive quote, it's easier than you think. Call 91-26688 or call into the office at Ballymacool, Letterkenny. Hickey Clark and Langan, the local name you can trust, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
Okay, you're very welcome back to the 9 till noon show live from An Grianan Theatre. Today we're joined on the programme now by Marie Fury of Marie Fury Counselling. Good morning to you, Marie. Thank you so much for your time today.
Hi, Greg. How are you? Thank you for having me on.
Now, this is in the context of a workshop on navigating through the justice journey after a road traffic collision. So I suppose, you know, speaking from sort of experience and knowledge in this area, what issues are we addressing in this process?
Well, I thought it was very important to take this workshop into Donegal because I suppose when you're pushed into this journey in life, there's a lot of questions and queries, and like it can be really, really traumatizing for families. So I just thought it would be good to take this workshop to support families that are navigating through the legal processes. So I actually have two solicitors coming on this evening, one from North and one from South, and they're going to work through like a few of the legal processes, and if any families have any queries on, say, like in the inquest or cases, it's just basically like a safe space for people to come and just navigate through it together.
It's one of those situations, isn't it, that we hope we never have to go through, but inevitably some of us will. So we can't sort of bury our head and pretend it might not be relevant. So what happens, or what can happen, following a fatal road traffic collision that will be covered this evening? Stuff that maybe people who aren't aware may not be aware.
Well, one of the big questions that comes across, and a few families have come to us, and I have actually experienced it as well. So, say like an inquest, like, do families have a formal right to leave the courtroom before graphic or distressing material is shown? Or sometimes families don't want to hear that; they can't process to hear it, so they can leave the courtroom, and a lot of people don't know that they can. So that's why I have the solicitors coming to explain a few things about that as well.
Yeah, because of course, you know, you've mentioned the inquest there. There may be a court case. It might give rise to a civil claim, or indeed, you know, where do you stand, or how do you navigate if there are criminal proceedings for that matter?
Yes. Again, that's exactly why I have these solicitors coming this evening, because, again, it's a learning process for me as well. Do you know, and there's families coming on tonight that have been through this experience, so at least everybody can share, like, what they have gone through and what can be done, and etc.
Very sadly, you have been through this. You lost your partner, Jonathan Traynor. He was just 28 when a spin on a motorcycle effectively turned into tragedy. You could never have accounted, could you, for A, happening, B, trying to process that grief, but then this extra layer of stuff that hits you just when you need it the least, the type of stuff that we've been talking about and that will be covered tonight.
Yeah, so like when a collision happens, you know, families and like myself have been thrust into a world that they never had to deal with before. They don't know what's happening, and like when you lose someone, like, life is just so difficult anyway. And then when you have all these layers, it can be so distressing, re-traumatizing. And again, like, grief never goes away. You do learn to carry it with you throughout your life in different ways. And yeah, so hopefully, like, this evening, like, we can discuss, you know, all those extra layers that you have upon your life when you lose someone. And that'll be, as you said, the inquests, investigations, court procedures, statements, timelines. You know, there's all these different timelines too that you're not aware of, and that's where the solicitors come into effect, that they can guide you on that.
Obviously, you've made it very accessible. It is this evening, and whilst that might seem like short notice, it's remote, okay? So whether you're listening to us in Northern Ireland, in the Republic of Ireland, you can get access to this. Marie, who do you expect to log in? Is it the recently bereaved? Would people log in to sort of educate themselves, you know, on the off chance that, God forbid, something like that might happen to them? Who do you expect your guests to be tonight?
Yeah, anybody that has been affected by road traffic collisions. It doesn't have to be recent. It can be previous, or anybody that wants to gather more information around this topic. It's open to anybody throughout the public. It's free. Just give us a wee call or message through our social media. There's an email as well, or vsnid@outlook.com. Get us through the Facebook, and the southern number is 083-1837-324. Just give me a wee message or a call, and I'll give whoever information and give you the Zoom link for tonight.
All right, so we'll try and get that information shared on our socials as well, just to link into your own. Marie, thanks so much for joining us and sharing that information with us. I do appreciate it, and I hope you're okay and able to deal with things as best you possibly can, given the difficult circumstances. I do appreciate your time.
And thank you so much, Greg, for having me on. I do appreciate it.
Okay, Marie Fury, who is of Marie Fury Counselling there. That is at 7 p.m. tonight. We'll try, Shannon, we'll get that stuff up on our socials, will we? Because you would know that off by heart, I would hope. Highland Radio Hub, Highland Radio News and Sport, and so on and so forth. 086 60 25,000 is the WhatsApp and text number, 086 60 25,000, or you can give us a call on 074 91 25,000. I'm joined here now by John Muldowney. Good morning, Muldowney, I beg your pardon. Good morning, John. How are you getting on?
Yes, Greg. How's the form?
Wow, I got the mouth mic. Guessed it first time. How are you keeping?
I'm not so bad,
Well, you're flat out. You're always playing someplace or other, aren't you?
Bits and pieces,
Yeah.
You know, there's bits of me falling off every day, so I just try and
but you're still here,
hobble in here, you know.
Still here. I'll tell you, I never realised how low this couch was until I tried to stand up.
Oh, I know that feeling. I'm glad I've got a high chair here, otherwise you'd need a crane to get me up.
Come here, where are you playing this weather?
Been playing all around the place, really. Myself and Fan O'Donnell are out.
You've got a wee twosome going now. It's going well for you.
Going well, we're all right. Not too bad. We're getting away.
Exactly.
We're getting away with it. The Hur and the Hallion.
Very good. So who's the Hallion?
This is the question, you see. We're always asked that. That could be a big bone of contention, in fairness.
All right, come here. You'll sing a couple for us, will you?
Well, sure.
All right, we'll have a chat. What are you going to sing for us first, after we hear something from you?
Well, I know there's a Donegal Giving kind of a theme
right,
here.
Yeah.
And also, yesterday was the 5th anniversary of a good friend of ours, Andrew Early from Ironmore, and Andrew's son, Jerry, and his cousin, John Gallagher, wrote a great song about a heroic action that happened back 85 years ago in Ironmore, and I think it's as good an example of the Donegal spirit of caring for each other as you get. It's called I'll Go. And funnily enough, about 10 years ago, I was on Highland Radio singing the same thing with Jerry.
There you go. So, okay, yeah. It's very fitting so.
Aye. Not the night of any night, said the coxswain of the crew. The chances of survival on a night like this are few. December 1940, off the coast of Donegal, came a great north wind that could have been the cruelest of them all. 14 men were missing, 18 more in great distress. Jack Boyle had their future in his hands had come to rest. He knew a man who knew the sea, if any man would know. Will you show the way without delay? O'Donnell said, I'll go. I'll go and do the best I can. I'll do what must be done. I'll go 'cause I'm a lifeboat man. I am my father's son. I will go and do the best I can. I'll do what must be done. I'll go 'cause I'm an island man. I am my father's son. Their neighbours watched them gather and they cast a worried eye, and they wondered how this lifeboat crew could possibly survive. They all agreed that some at least the greatest price would pay, and the old men shed a tear and knelt down on the ground to pray. While Camden on the pier with his handpicked squad of men, Jack told each one there'd be no shame if this time I said no. Each traced the cross upon his brow and said I can't go. Each traced the cross upon his brow and said I'll go. I'll go and do the best I can. I'll do what must be done. I'll go 'cause I'm a lifeboat man, I am my father's son. I will go and do the best I can, I'll do what must be done. I'll go 'cause I'm an island man, I am my father's son. Against the storm, against the gale, against the mighty wave, these men were rightly honoured as the bravest of the brave. And let us all salute them and thank God for men like these, who would risk their lives for strangers in peril on the seas. O'Donnell, Ward and Gallagher, remember these names well. With the Boyles, the Burns and Rogers, they faced the seas from hell, with the waves above them crashing down and the heaving mass below. God bless them, every one who made the vow to say I'll go. I'll go and do the best I can, I'll do what must be done. I'll go 'cause I'm a lifeboat man, I am my father's son. I will go and do the best I can, I'll do what must be done. I'll go 'cause I'm an island man, I am my father's son. This volunteer lifeboat crew was sullen Armore. They faced the greatest storm they hadn't ever seen before, but they brought those 18 sailors home and left them on the land. Now they're safe and well and home again by the grace of God's own hand. Now their spirits store upon the waves of burned eternal rest, and surely if there's justice they are seated with the best. I'd like to think in that last hour God whispered soft and low, and welcomed home the 8 brave men who made the vow to go. I'll go and do the best I can, I'll do what must be done. I'll go 'cause I'm an island man, I am my father's son. I will go and do the best I can, I'll do what must be done. I'll go 'cause I'm from Arranmore, I am my father's son. Yes, I'll go 'cause I'm from Arranmore, I am my father's son.
Well done, John Muldowney. It's kind of a kind of an exclusive club, that song, I think, in that it's not often relatively new songs or new songs become part of the sort of, you know, the musical fabric of the county. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
that has. Some come and go, right?
I had a wee brain fart in the middle of it there. I'm sorry about that, but it is. It's definitely a song that's going to just come into the tradition.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
because
it's part of it now, isn't it?
It is, absolutely, and you know, again, it's kind of like Donegal Danny or any of those songs that have a true story behind them.
That's
you know.
There's an authenticity there, isn't
absolutely,
it? Yeah, it tells a real story. Stay where you are. I'm going to take a break. John Muldowney's going to play another one for us because he got up those stairs and it wouldn't be fair just to get two out of him, to get one out of him. Right, so we'll be back with more music and conversation in the last part of today's 9 till noon show after these.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, with monster loans available up to €60,000 for all occasions. Visit letterkennycu.ie.
This Christmas, embark on a magical journey to the wild Arctic. Meet Arctic foxes, snowy owls, reindeer, and me, Santa. I have a special gift for every child. Hop aboard Ireland's first virtual reality sleigh ride and travel around the world with me. Afterwards, make gingerbread with Mrs. Claus. To book your adventure, visit wildireland.org.
He loved wearing his little wellies with every outfit.
Neve's son Paul died in a farm accident in 2010. Even good memories can be hard to share, but Embrace Farm is here to listen, supporting farm families in Ireland every step of the way after a serious injury or sudden death. Visit embracefarm.com or ring us at 085 770 9966 to tell us your story.
The future of driving is here. Hyundai are built for what's next, so you can step into tomorrow, today. With innovations in smart tech and style, Hyundai continues as a leader, selling the most plug-in and electric cars in Ireland. The future is today. The future is Hyundai. Step into the future of driving.
Your local dealer is Divers Hyundai, Canal Road, Letterkenny. Call 91 22 600.
Shop Homeland's mega deals now until November 21st. Save 25% off Dulux Easy Care, Vinyl Mat and Soft Sheen 2.5 litre and 5 litre sizes. Jefferson 3 kilowatt petrol generator now €499, save €100. All this and more in store and online at homeland.ie.
Great to see you back at Specsavers. Okay, could you read out the letters on the wall for me?
Yep. D-E-A-L-S? Yeah, D-E-A-L-S. Deals.
Oh, right. Yes, our Black Friday deals are eye-catching, but the letter chart's over here.
Oh, sorry.
At Specsavers, we've got all sorts of unmissable Black Friday deals, like up to €70 off one pair of designer glasses. Offer ends on 7th of December 2025. Conditions apply. Ask in store for details.
Highland Radio weather updates with McElhenney's. Discover Christmas gift ideas for everyone on your list, from trending beauty to memorable Secret Santa gifts. Visit us in Ballybuffet to explore our extensive range of gifts or shop online at mcelhenneys.com today.
Okay, the weather forecast, it's going to be mostly dry this afternoon. Temperatures 13 to 15 degrees. Okay, we're wrapping things up here. We've got another song to come to play us out from the excellent John Muldaney. But first, I want to have a quick chat, if that's okay, with Marie Shields of ETB Donegal, but also an ambassador of Donegal Giving Online. Why, Marie, good morning to you. Why did you decide to get involved in this project?
So the founder of Donegal Giving, Evelyn McGlynn, is a long-time friend and collaborator of mine. So she had kindly shared this concept with me a while back. And she has a tendency to get you very excited about anything she works on. And I loved the concept. And so, yeah, I came on board as one of the friends of Donegal Giving, just to lend any kind of moral support, online support, anything at all I could do. I thought it sounded great. And it's great to see such a brilliant turnout today.
What do you think this will become? Because it is concept, it's a framework. This, you know, it's there to grow into something.
Yeah, a proof of concept is certainly here today, given the volume of the people who are under one roof. And one of the things that I hope to see is a stronger connection between all of the different agencies, charities, people, schools. It's hard to connect everybody in Donegal, but this is kind of a North Star where everybody wants to give or provide something.
It's interesting you say that, because I've seen a lot of the people here at different events over the years, but I haven't seen all of them at the same events. Yeah, but it's logical that they would. I'm not saying they don't work together outside of these events, don't get me wrong, but it is logical to get them into the same building.
Yeah, it provides an opportunity.
Networking word is it's not just a word, it's a significant part of anything, really.
No, it's great. And even my colleagues here from Donegal ETB Adult Guidance have a stand where they're doing a bit of sign posting and support, and they were saying it was great for them to talk to the other stand holders from the non-profit community who they may not have had a chance to network with or speak to. So that sense of connectivity and relationship building, I think, is something that will help it in the future if everyone maintains those relationships.
Yeah, and it's the buy-in too. There's not a direct commercial advantage in it. So people are doing this, people are giving of their time. Caroline and Sylvester in there. Is it Caroline? It is.
Yeah.
Caroline and Sylvester in there. Sorry, and Richard. And Evelyn and yourself and Una Quinn. Do you know what I mean? As I say, this is not a business where everyone's making money. This is a concept that people see the benefit of for themselves and for others.
Yeah, definitely. There's that kind of feel-good factor and fulfillment today. There's no huge KPI or goal or commercial element. It's just about what can we do to help.
There was some jargon in there, but I think you did very well, Marie, for speaking in layman's terms to me, because I'm a layman. I've heard a bit of jargon today, and I'm learning all the time. KPIs, key performance indicators?
Yes,
excellent.
correct.
Okay, I'm sure you're smashing all of yours. I'd have no doubt about it. Listen, thanks, Marie.
You're
really
very
welcome.
Thank you very much.
That's Marie Shields there with ETB Donegal, but also an ambassador of Donegal Giving, another person, a powerful person in Donegal that's That's bought into this. Right, now, John Muldowney, where are you playing this weekend? You know, plug yourself. Not that you need to, right? You're not going to be one of these musicians that doesn't know because you haven't been told yet because it's not Friday.
We're in the Central in Lifford on Sunday.
Lovely, good spot that.
Yeah, first time.
Right.
First time there.
I think I DJ'd there at an 18th birthday party about 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I wonder is it the same place?
Maybe, I don't know.
All right, okay.
Yeah, I've been kind of hobbling.
You have to climb a ladder into the DJ box. It might not be the same place. I know.
I would have cancelled a few because I've got a dodgy leg. But anyway.
Right, okay, so what are you gonna play us out with?
I'm going to play a song from a singing of a man called Chris Wood. He's an English folk singer who's played here actually. Lovely man. It's called The Cottager's Reply. 500,000 English pounds for this old house and a piece of ground. You and your wife, you've always planned to settle down in Cotswold land. Well, you best come in, you best sit down. It's such a long drive from London town. Would you like some tea now while I tell the reason why I will not sell? This stone-built house that you call nice was given at far too high a price for me to gaily sign away what others toiled for night and day. They hammered blue stone by the yard, and they found the rent when times were hard. And they lived and died beneath the sun, gazing on the fields you've won. Now they're all gone, but as for me, the wild hair still roams as free, and at dusk the badger travels still, ancestral highways on the hill. I am as Cotswold bred as these, and I still need these fields and trees, and I need the soil that bore my race and holds their bones beneath this place. You say you'll pay 500 grand for this old house and a piece of land. Well, London's about 4 hours from me, but in a car like that, you'll do it in 3.
Excellent stuff, John. That was wonderful. Thank you so very much indeed. That's where we leave it on the programme today. Thanks to Joe Dex, who looked after us technically, Caroline Orr, of course, Shannon Wilkins. We're back in studio